Yo, what's up, y'all?
Hey guys, welcome back to season 2, episode 4 of the Deep Life podcast with your hosts, Tony and Alana Hubbard.
Episode 5.
Very good.
Oh, nice.
That actually sounded really good.
Oh, nice.
Hey guys, thank you guys so much for coming back to this week's episode, the engagement season. We've gotten a lot of requests for this particular episode, and so we thought it was so necessary to bring this content to you guys. We can't wait to talk about the engagement season with you guys. So what did you think about last week's episode? Money bags.
Yeah, Money Bag was dope. I really enjoyed it. Got a lot of feedback. You know, finances and spending tends to be people's
big topic.
Big topic.
Yeah.
So I think it was definitely necessary. You know, we got a little spin coming from that episode, so I stay tuned. But yeah, I got a lot of good feedback from it.
Yeah, same. Our guests were well received. Everybody really loved the episode, so we're so thankful. Thank you guys so much for tuning into episode 3. And we're so excited to get into the highlight of the week. So what would you say is your highlight of the week?
My highlight of the week had to be probably Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So we just switched positions basically.
I suppose so.
So I can't say that now.
If it is yours, it's yours. I think Game of Thrones and Avengers Endgame.
Oh yeah, you did see that this week.
I finally saw it. So yeah.
So how'd you like it?
I liked it, man. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, no spoilers over here. No spoilers.
My heart was broken.
Oh God. Well, don't say anything. Don't say anything else after that.
Yeah.
I think my highlight of the week is a conversation you and I had a few days ago. Won't go into detail about it, but it had a lot to do with faith and just, I guess, honesty between us and really holding each other accountable even when the truth hurts. And so we had a really deep conversation.
Which one?
We were just talking about the business of the podcast,
okay.
Life, personality traits, just faith, and just like I tend to have a little more of a pessimistic outlook on things, whereas you're a lot more optimistic. And we were really honest with each other and kind of just laid everything out for the other to see. And I really appreciate that about us. It's not easy to have those types of conversations, but it was definitely a highlight of the week because for me, it helped me to get a lot off my chest, and I think it helped you as well. So it was good.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, that's why I had to ask which one, because this week was a heavy week of conversations.
Yeah, we did have
between us and between other people as well. So yeah.
Got me together this week, bro. Got me together.
Well, you keep saying that. I was over here getting people together. I think this week for me was I just needed clarity in a lot of different areas, and I think sometimes we walk around not necessarily anticipating or expecting certain conversations to go a certain way, and I think sometimes we shy away from just being very direct and honest in a respectful manner. And I think a lot of my conversations this week had to be very genuine, honest, and direct.
But they were very respectful.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's learned over time. You don't walk into a relationship knowing necessarily how to communicate with your partner. And it's definitely something that has taken us some time to understand and to realize. And so it's been good. I'm happy about it. So let's get into the topic of the week, the engagement season.
Ooh.
All right, so you want to tell a very, very brief synopsis of our engagement story before we get into this?
Now I can tell it.
Very brief.
I've been trying to get Alana to post our engagement video.
It's not necessary.
Not like I guess there's no other way to post it, but I don't know. I think people would appreciate our engagement process, but that's one of her things that she holds pretty dear to her. So
yeah, I don't feel like it's necessary, but we could talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it. What do you want me to describe the engagement itself?
Well, just describe your vision for the engagement process, and then what happened?
Oh, okay. I mean, so initially, like,
What was
when
the
I,
plan and all that stuff?
so it took me some time to plan. When I first started thinking about actually proposing, it was around maybe November of the year before I proposed. Actually, no, it was earlier than that. It was probably maybe around that summer, maybe July. I started looking at different rings and options.
What year is this?
This is at the time 2014, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't propose in 2014?
Yeah, you did, but you didn't.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. It was 2013. You're right. So yeah, 2013. I'm looking at different ring options. You know, I took Alana around maybe when we first got back together in 2012, around 2013, just to go look at different rings and see what she kind of liked, just to get a general idea. You know, she had no idea that, you know, any proposal will come in anytime within the next 3 to 4 years, because we had agreed and discussed that, you know.
It wasn't on my radar at
all.
I was in law school at the time. I had actually just started law school.
Yeah, just started law school.
I was in my first year of law school, and yeah, it definitely was not on my radar at all.
Yeah, and we agreed that she was going to finish law school first and or be in her last year of law school by the time we got engaged, because we still had things we wanted to do individually and collectively. And then, yeah, so I just want to get general ideas. And then at some point, me and one of my frat brothers, close friend of mine, Ron, had a conversation, and he was like, yo, them dudes in law school thirsty, bro. Like, you better make sure you lock that thing down. And then I just started getting me thinking a little bit more like, you know, what our trajectory for us together? You know, what do I need to do right now? Is there anything I need to figure out? And, you know, make long story short, when I called up one of my close friends, Russ, who's very well knowledgeable in jewelry. We went to a couple of different jewelry stores, looked at different prices, developed a budget, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. And, you know, I started making my plans together, and I wanted to be special. I wanted our engagement to include people closest to her and the people closest to me, family-wise, not necessarily friends. And then I wanted to make sure it was reflective of everything that she appreciated and she enjoyed. I didn't necessarily want it to be my vision. I wanted it to her engagement to reflect her. And I'm a kind of a big idea type of guy, so I knew I didn't want to just, you know, get on one knee and propose at a random situation. I wanted everything well thought out, well planned, to be a whole situation. Did it end up being a situation?
I think it was cool. I liked it. It was fun. It was not something, again, it wasn't something that I knew was happening. Yeah. So it was, I think, our 5th or 6th anniversary.
Yeah, I think it was our 5th anniversary.
I think it might have been our 6th.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was, so every year, and again.
Yeah, it was our 6th.
It was our 6th. Again, because, like, I'm always trying to make sure I keep our relationship fresh. I'm always doing something, you know, out of the ordinary. She didn't anticipate or expect anything to be significantly different, because
he's always been a very thoughtful, romantic person. So
it was easy to do a grand gesture for her
without
engagement.
me suspecting a ring was coming around the corner. So I mean, I'm gonna continue because you're taking forever.
Sorry.
So basically, he took me to dinner at this place called R2 in Philly. R2L. Sorry, R2L. My bad. R2L in Philly. And told me to wear red dress, which is my favorite color. Took me to dinner. The dinner was amazing. After that, we came downstairs from dinner, and there was a horse-drawn carriage waiting for us at the door. We got onto the horse-drawn carriage, which was all white with like red trimming. It was really, like, he really put this together. Some come to find out he had gotten like permits and everything to allow us to go down the specific streets we wanted to go down. And throughout this whole carriage ride, we're talking about our past, our relationship, you know, how much he loves me and all this stuff.
The last 6 years.
You know, how the last 6 years have evolved for us, and how we've changed and grown together, and all the things that we've brought to each other's lives. And meanwhile, I'm thinking, oh, this is so nice. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Like, we stop in front of the Ritz-Carlton, and that concludes our horse-drawn carriage ride. This is in downtown Philly. And you know, I'm like, babe, what are we doing here at the hotel? Like, I don't have any clothes with me. I didn't bring anything with me to stay the night or anything like that. He's like, don't worry about it. I got you. So I was like, okay. So long story short, we go upstairs.
I made up a story. You missed that part. I made up a story. I was like, yo, you know, I told her we're going to a concert after dinner. Oh, you forget that part. I was like, yo, so I really don't feel like driving back to Jersey, so I booked us a room over here at the Ritz. We're just gonna stay here tonight, and that's when you asked, and I don't have any clothes. How am I gonna stay here? I was like, don't worry about it. I took care of it already.
Right, and I was like, what?
I'm just surprised you.
I was like, I'm not going to no concert in this dress. It's too tight. It's too much, too constricting, and blah blah blah. All this stuff. My feet were hurting. all these different things. And so we went upstairs and we opened up what I believe to be is our room. And in our room are my parents, my sister, his parents, his brothers and sisters, and his, I think, yeah, your other brother and sister were like streamed in, like Skyped in or whatever.
It was streamed in.
Yeah, like it was an amazing moment. He had like the whole room decked out in like rose petals and what else?
A
violinist, candles everywhere, food and champagne, like so that my parents and his parents could just munch and talk to each other while they were waiting for us. It was a huge surprise and it was awesome, and it was a very special moment for us, and that's how we got engaged.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. And,
we skipped a lot of stuff. I'm not trying to draw this out.
But it was dope. Yeah. It was dope. If I say so myself, I definitely think it was one of those one for the books.
It was one for the books.
I had made a video, a compilation video of all of our last 6 years. My first date, to a couple of games, football games we went to at Rutgers, to some not so good times.